Hello. Konda, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, great, great, great. It's a long
That's
weekend
good.
here.
Oh, it's a long weekend. Nice to you.
Yes.
And how's the family?
Family is good. I don't know about
That's
you that side.
we're doing fine.
Uh-huh. That's wonderful. What? So what do you guys do like on a Saturday? Like, or did you watch the game first of all?
Yeah, actually, I was watching Manchester.
Uh,
Yes.
they almost lost.
Almost. It's just by chance that was. That penalty, it was just a chance.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, it was by chance. Otherwise, they had lost. I was like, oh, here we go again. Another loss.
Almost that one. They were supposed to draw that game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a draw. Now,
Mm.
as we're playing tomorrow.
Yes, I'll watch. I'm watching tomorrow.
Yeah, it had to be the big game.
Yes.
Big game. Yeah. So what's happening? What's the latest there in
Yeah, I think that is it. The president, I think today was in Katete for the traditional ceremony. So it's in Eastern Province.
yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Mm.
I saw that. Ah. Hello, baby.
Ago is
How are you,
greeting.
baby? Hello, baby. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good girl. How old are you?
Two.
Oh,
2 years.
nice. Oh, wow. Very smart.
Yeah.
Oh man. So people looks like they've been watching. They were watching the game
yeah. I don't know if where are they, if they're still celebrating the Manchester. I don't know.
for the first time in their life. They have won. It's a breaking news. I saw something on saying to say, "Oh, breaking news! Manchester
Yeah,
United has
it's a
finally
breaking
won."
news for them.
Oh man, they were so crazy, so crazy, so crazy. Anyway, I think we can start. Whoever joins, they will join. We can start the
Yeah,
conversation, and let me just turn that thing on. Okay, that is off there. Fantastic. Okay, so okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Red Tag Podcast Show. This is where we dissect national matters and try to exchange ideas and try to explain a few things, a few details, and correct the narrative. Of course, that is, circulating on social media from the opposition. We try to counteract that and make sure we put out the right narrative and of course, inform our Zambian people here in the diaspora, especially and everywhere else in Zambia, of the good things that the UPND government is doing and achieving. That being said, my name is Chanda Chulufya, of course, broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. And I've got, my good friend, Mr. Simkonda. Mr. Simkonda, welcome to the show. Are you there, Simkonda? Mr. Simkonda is busy with his baby. Yeah, so Mr. Simkonda is broadcasting live from Zambia. And of course, he'll be joining us later on. And of course, we need his 2 cents on the, he's in the medical field. So he'll be able to at least explain a few things. One of the topics there, where, the former permanent secretary for health was arrested with, I think, 5 other people in connection with the drugs at ZAMMSA. So that's a big topic. And of course, we got to unpack. Of course, the elephant in the room. We all know, we cannot forget about the the ruling in the Concord. That ruling, of course, we know what happened, and huge disappointment to the Lungu family, and of course to the opposition. They were expecting a different result. I mean, they went in and got this so praised professional. They call him the Black Moses or Black Jesus to represent them. He's never lost a case, but the arguments they were bringing across were refused by the court. So that's something, one of the topics that we're going to dive into, and dissect it, and what are the implications. So what are we looking at now? Why all of a sudden, what's going to happen now? Because I think even the president said, I think this is the end of the rope. But of course, we need to give him a pat at the back, because he's restrained himself. He doesn't want to force issues. He just wants things to go according to the law. And the law is obviously on every Zambian side, which is the public, everybody that's a Zambian, that's well-meaning. Of course, want to see our former leader to be buried in Zambia. I think that's one of the most cardinal and important things. He needs to be given that state funeral that he deserves. Arguments have been brought forward that he wasn't a former president, he was a private person. So I don't even understand what that is or what that means. I was watching Miles Sampa the other day being interviewed, and I was shocked. I was like, well, you are leaders. You should actually give us the right narrative and give people of Zambia the right information, because whether you're in power or not, whether you join politics or whether you resign from politics, the fact still remains. You were once a head of state. So once you were a head of state, you are a former president. Okay? Whether you don't like it or not, that's just what it is. Whether you decide to go back into politics, still you're a former head of state. Whether you remain outside politics, you're still a former head of state. So that narrative that the PF, the Tonsi Alliance, I don't know what they call themselves nowadays, who knows what party it is, that since he was a private person, then he died as a private person, so he doesn't need a state funeral. That's the argument. And another argument for the fact is that they don't want our leader, our president, to be near the casket or the body, which is, I think, a little bit strange, if you ask me. And body viewing will only be done by a selected few, which is another, double whammy. Because I mean, why are only select individuals going to what you call it, going to view the body. Why just a select few? Uh, Mr. Mwanza, mlibwanji.
Yes, sir. Bwino muli bwanji.
Ah, tiri bwino mdala tadiera kuno.
Sorry tachedwa. Ndipase niko naise.
Tafichira pangwani.
Oh, that's
Eh,
good. Tala
tafichira
join.
pangwani.
You can you can throw by FedEx.
No problem. Twala mtumina mu WhatsApp.
Okay.
A big lamp of Shima.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah. So,
Nalumanda.
look, I haven't even eaten that thing. I don't know for years.
I'm cooking that one this afternoon from my
Yes.
garden, but it's very little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how did it grow from the garden? Like, how did you get it like to grow?
Same kind in summer now. That we, sorry, I'm diverting. In our garden, we have Chihuahua, we have Lumanda,
Oh
we
yeah.
Bondwe. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
You just bring those seeds here, but you tell
Uh-huh.
the customs you're not going to the farm. It's just for a small garden, backyard garden. They will let you.
Oh. So
Mm.
they won't bother you. They won't say, "Oh no, this you need this, need
No, it's
permit
better
or
to,
whatever."
yeah, it's better to declare, and then you tell them you're just going to come a
Mhm.
small garden. You're not going
Mm.
to a farm or anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
something to be done, I think. Well,
Sure.
yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. I just started, introducing the topics. I was talking about, the big issue here, which is, the South African Corn Court, throwing out the Lungu appeal, the Lungu family's appeal, and what are the implications? I mean, what does this mean for the Lungu family? Are they now finally going to agree to sit down with the government, or is it just going back again to court to keep on prolonging the whole thing? I mean, what's the way forward? I think I heard I was watching Makebi Zulu saying they're going back to the High Court. So I'm like, when is enough enough? I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think on that one.
For me, you're asking me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. For me, like you said, the family, I think, has to start reading between lines. Um, if first the Rastaman or the German, they said he has never lost the case. He wanted to do a shortcut. He
Mm, mm,
lost. So I'm not a lawyer, but one of these lawyers and judges said that one way of easiest way of losing a case is when you start attacking the court system. So
mhm,
they did a shortcut. They were referred back. So if they
mm,
go back to the High Court, assuming the High Court says they want to hear the case, they go
mm.
to the Supreme Court of
Supreme.
Appeal. If
Mm,
they, assuming they lost there, they would go to the appeal to the Crown Court.
that's
What are
right.
the chances that the Crown Court will rule in their favor? Because it's almost
Mm,
like they have to read between lines that already this court doesn't think our case is an emergency. It's a
mm,
constitutional
mm,
crisis. So they're going to bring it back to that. You aim to take it back to the same court.
mm,
Maybe to me, I would think this is a signal for them to maybe come to reality and think maybe we have to find a way out of this.
yeah.
And the problem that I also feel is like the lawyers have been given an upper hand. Lawyers are about making money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this Lungu thing, they needed an elder or chiefs, church representative to be maybe the main people negotiating a
Mm,
way forward, both on the government side and from the Lungu side, not lawyers.
mm, mm,
Yeah,
mm,
I think for me, it's a red flag or it's a warning for them that
mm,
even if it ends up at the Crown Court at some day, they may not get a ruling in their favor.
mm.
Yeah,
I think it's a dead on arrival. I think if
yeah.
they decide to go back to the High Court, I think the
Mhm.
High Court will just say we already ruled on this one. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, what other new evidence are you presenting that
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
didn't look, we didn't preside over last time you were here? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, they don't have any new evidence, so there'll be, it's more like a court cannot continue repeating itself. It has
That's
already
right.
ruled, and there that ruling there already stands.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you're saying, I think these lawyers, the family needs to break away from the lawyers
Mm-hmm.
and bringing the church elders and the
Mm-hmm.
chief,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying. Like, where is the church in all this? I haven't really. I don't know. Maybe they're in the background, but I've not heard any church leaders, elders, coming up to say, let's go and see what we can do to help the family and the
Mm-hmm.
government and the people of
Mm-hmm.
Zambia at the end of the day. I haven't heard it. If because that's why people are questioning where's the role of the church? You know,
Mm-hmm.
not some church elders who have got an alliance. Because there are some, they were Christians for Lungu.
Mm-hmm.
So them, we need somebody who doesn't belong to, who doesn't have any political affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody with an independent mind that
Mm-hmm.
can look at this, with one solid eye, and say, guys, I think let's go this way, or let's go this way, or let's sit. I think it's about time they sat on the table and
Yeah.
really, because I think what they are bringing up, like I was saying, like, they don't want him. They're saying he died a private citizen. Like I was saying, I was watching Miles Sampa. He was like, no, he died a private citizen, so he doesn't. He's not supposed to get a state funeral. So, like, no, he didn't die a private citizen. He died a former head of state.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he was in politics or not, at the end of the day, he was a former head of state. He was once a president that ruled the country, and if he was voted out, he becomes former, whether in active politics or whether not in active politics, you're still a former head of state. So that's that's a big one there, and hopefully things work out, because I think for the most part, most of the Zambians want to see their former leader be buried
Mm-hmm.
and put to rest, and given everything that we should give a pat on the back on the UPND government and the president, because I mean, they can, if they wanted, they could have just forced matters, and just say, guys, this is it. But that's why it's very questionable. People are bringing up all these rumors. Oh, maybe he's not dead, or maybe he was shot, or maybe he was or this. People coming up all these crazy ideas because of all this. So
Yeah.
people will will start thinking now. You don't blame the people if they're bringing out
Mm-hmm.
these rumors, because the way the family is behaving is very untraditional, very un-Zambian. I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen something like this. The short time I've been on Earth, I've never seen it before. I don't know anywhere in the world if you know people have seen something like this happening to their leader.
Mm-hmm.
Even the worst
You
of
know,
the worst,
I
still they've given state funerals. You know.
I listen to Tayali for entertainment,
Oh.
but the last time I listened to Tayali, they call us. In the past, you would hear sort of like a mixed reaction from government, those who are
Mm,
against. But this one, it was mostly lady. I think there was almost like eight women or female women or ladies back to back
mhm,
in callers, and all of them, it's almost like the sympathy is shifting. People are now blaming the family, and most of these, I think five of them were widows. They were saying
mm,
even when they had problems with the family, the first thing
mm,
they begged the family was, can we bury first and we can talk about whatever
mm,
else
mm.
grievances that
Yes.
we want to talk about, because you can't have one lady say, how do you feel in the morning? Or one woman,
Mm,
presenter or caller said, how do you feel in the morning? You wake up, you bath, you have breakfast, or free today, every
mm,
day, in and out,
mm,
every day, in and out. So
Yeah.
I think Mr. Dan is in.
Oh,
So
Dr. Danny, welcome.
Dr. Dan, sorry.
Dr. Dan.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Good, we're good. You guys,
Yeah,
you almost lost the game today.
yeah, it was almost, yeah, we almost lost. No, we almost won, not almost lost.
Yeah.
We go
Yeah.
for the positive, not the negative.
Uh, you almost lost,
We almost won.
Ah,
Yeah,
man. So yeah, so we're just discussing about the Concord ruling, and what the way forward is. Since now it's been thrown out, it's gonna go back to the High Court, and then we're thinking, I don't know if now maybe it's the time for the family to now sit down, with the government and just negotiate issues instead of prolonging all these, arguments going back and forth in the courts. And even there's reports that with the mortuary where they're keeping the body, they're saying if it continues like this, the body will deteriorate and it will be unrecognizable. So the earlier this thing is resolved, the better for both parties. What's your take on that one?
yeah, I think everyone agrees. Most Zambians now, as Oscar was saying, most Zambians now, they just want this thing to be done, and let's bury and forget about this thing. It's prolonging the whole thing. There's no need for us to continue doing this. I think there's a lot going on underground. Anyway, because that vice president from Zimbabwe, when he passed by State House, um, the tone or the language from HH,
Okay, go ahead.
the language from HH sounded like there's something going on between Mnangagwa and the HH, because he was talking about, no, go and tell the president all this and all that. So I think Mnangagwa has a role to play in this thing as well, most likely, because he's I mean, our president was telling the vice president of Zimbabwe that when you go back, please tell him that we really want this thing to be done, and for it's like Mnangagwa has a role to play somehow underground there. That's what I think. But yeah, everyone wants this thing to be done. I don't know why. To me, the only thing I can speculate is that the body is not in a good condition. That's what I think. I think Lungu's body is not in a good condition, and that's the reason why they don't want this thing to be a public ceremony. They just want to do it privately, because I think those rumors that he was shot and all this, most likely that's the thing. In my view, that's what I think.
And those rumors are growing. Actually, they're growing.
Yeah,
They are growing. People are saying like, look, maybe the guy was shot. So people, they don't want to see that he was shot.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's something going on. They want to, according to the rumors, they want to access, certain things. So they had to remove one or two things. Who knows? All it's their fault, really. Because people will start speculating because of their strange kind of behavior towards the whole thing. Massimo Konda, welcome. You keep on dropping in and out. I know internet is unstable there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think for today the network is really little bit bad, so it's dropping me off in and out.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so we're just talking about the Concord ruling, the Lungu case, and what's been happening, and what's the way forward. Can we finally put this to bed and move on as a country?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think on this issue, last time I said I think I don't know who advising the Lungu's family. That's why
in all family setup, we do have those abakulu bakulu who can handle these issues. But me, though, I think that is what I've seen it is that all Abikire Kuntanj, those who are advising them, they are immature, like Abena Makebi Zuru. Yeah, it's like they are trying to fight with the government, which is not okay. And I think they're thrown out of that case. I think those you can just really know that this case is not really going anywhere. And even the South African government, they are in support with the Zambian government. I think even that minister who came to Zambia from South Africa way back, I think also, I think he had should be a statement. He said now would be love to see President Lungu to be buried in Zambia. That is totally clear, surely that the South African government, they are in support of Zambia, but I think the Lungu's family, they are not realizing. They are trying to push, but I think quite sometimes I think like anything to feel like let's just work and forget about this, but they are trying to push in. I don't know what types of people are these. It's really, I don't know. We can't understand them, and they really need abantu abakuru mu family abakuba bati let's handle issues like this. I think they like that. And also it has exposed even the husband, the type of family that he had, looking at what is like what happened. So this is, I think, when we go back, he's a kind of person, maybe a confusion person. Let's remember how he came into presidency. There's a total confusions. And then I think he was elected twice, but he was trying to push until now he was emulated and he was I think was beaten badly during the 2026 election. He didn't believe to say he has lost. So he's a man of confusion. That's why even in his death, still there's this confusion. So this is the types of family that he has left behind. So I think when it comes to nurturing and I think teaching the children, I think he didn't do well, especially on this part, including even the wife, because you can't just be pushing, no, we don't want this, we want, why? What is the issue? Nangu mwali ila kasha nangu even if it's a family level mwali like there's a time we say okay, let's reconcile and move on. You reconcile and we move on. We will not lose anything. But them is like, hey, I'm wondering. I submit to Ashan.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, I think everybody shares the same sentiments. It's questionable. Because there are no real big reasons. I think people will always want to reconcile when something bad happens. And just like I was when I was watching the president's interview by that lady from Africa Now, then and now, he was very clear on this issue. Yeah, he actually said, look, he feels bad that the whole world, whole Africa, have to have to expose Zambia like that. Making Zambia look like we are bad-hearted people. Trying to paint it in a wrong way when Zambia is well known for its peace. We're well known to be the most friendliest countries in the world. But this is showing a very negative image, and I don't know if that's really the motive of the Tonse that are surrounding the Lungu family, because I don't know, maybe if it's them really they're in control of this, or it's the political side of the family. Who knows what's happening there, because there are so many people there that are surrounding that family. Anyway, to move on, hopefully everything works out for both parties, especially the majority of the Zambians who want to go and mourn him. Everything should work out well. The next topic, gentlemen, I don't know if you saw the member of parliament for Kwacha, when the president went to the Copper Belt, to open the new facility, the new UPND headquarters and other projects, he stood up in fact, that was even in church. They were in church, and his members in the constituency, they don't know him. I mean, how possible is that, where you don't know your MP, your member of parliament, in the constituency that you preside over? I mean, Mr. Oscar, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I mean, how possible is it that an MP, its members of his constituency don't know him? Like, I don't know how possible that is. Like,
Oh, it's possible.
it's possible.
Yeah. So, as regards to the church, I don't know whether that church was in his constituency or not. So I'm not sure about that. But it is possible. I mean,
Yeah, it
Chilang
actually
is
is. It's in his
in.
constituency. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
well, there it is. These are members of parliament that they are visible when it's campaign time. The moment they win, they are never there.
Mm,
And it's so embarrassing that with the way CDF is now,
mm,
people should know your member.
mm,
Your constituent should know you, whether you are doing something on the road, cars
mm,
for work,
mm,
schools or painting. There's a lot. The pocket is bigger now for even any useless MP to be seen to be doing something, you know.
mm,
But it's also possible. I live in Zambia. I'm in Chilanga. Lusaka West is under Chilanga district, and the MP, I think Chilanga MP. Yeah, I've never met him. I've never met him, and there's
mm,
meetings here and there. I've never met him.
mm,
You send him a message. There's a lot of pollution that side of Lusaka. He doesn't even respond. So
mm,
there you go. It's possible, and I'm not the only one, because
mm,
some of the more prominent people there. When I was talking to them, they were like, "We can't wait for the next election because he's never there. You know, they don't see him. He doesn't respond. You
mm,
know, so yeah, you know, and." So yeah, it's possible. There's some members of parliament, 5 years, not even a word. You don't have to be making noise like Bino in parliament, but you should also, your constituents should be able to see you and recognize you, and for the work you are doing in the constituents, right?
yes. Yes.
Mm.
Ah, that's an
It was
embarrassment.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but also just the fact that the president was there too.
Yeah.
We also can't just brush it aside.
No, that
Yeah,
that doesn't sit well for him. I mean,
no.
it doesn't. But Danny, Dr. Danny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very embarrassing to the party as well, because it means they chose a person who is not really a representative of the community.
Mm,
Because what I know is that an MP should be part of the community where he's serving, but that guy seems to be an outsider.
mhm,
He's not known. The people don't know him, and it looks like he was just imposed onto the community, which is the case. Some of the MPs in parliament actually are imposed on the community, and this is a problem, you know,
mhm,
because there comes a time when the political parties, they look at the pros of adopting somebody because probably he's got money, he's got this, He can sponsor himself. He can do all sorts of things other than looking at whether he's going to serve the people or not. So there are quite a number of MPs like that in Parliament, actually. But it's not all of them. Some of them, like Musanje, for example, is very much on the ground. He's got a house in his village. He's got this. Yeah, those are some of the MPs. But some of them are really like that guy who people don't know him. They mention a name. They didn't even know that he was their MP, which is very weird. They said, "Do you know this one?" They said, "No, who is he?" They said, "Oh, he's your MP." Said, "Oh, okay, MP." That was very sad. Yeah, but I see MPs, for example, in Lusaka, in the constituencies in Lusaka. A lot of people in Lusaka don't know their MPs. They have never met them. And Lusaka is a typical example of MPs who were just nominated by the party. You be Chawama MP or you be whatever, Munali MP. In the meantime, this guy comes from Kabompo or somewhere. He has never been to Chawama or something like that. So that's what happens. It's very, very common. Yeah, it's very common. But it's very sad that should not be the case. I think we should be serving the community. For example, this guy Luvinda, given Luvinda.
Yes.
When he was an MP in Kabwata, at what is it Kabwata? One of them.
Kabwata,
yeah.
Kabwata is.
Yeah, given Luvinda was an MP in Kabwata, and he never lives in Kabwata. He was just driving through Kabwata all the time, but he's never really lived in that part of the city or whatever. He was living in Lusaka West somewhere, So it's very sad. It's very sad that the politicians can do that. Yeah.
Very sad indeed. I mean that's a huge disappointment. And for it to be said, one in front of the president in a church, oh man. If I was him, I would move. So that's why they say most of these members of parliament, they leave their constituency. Well, if you're a member of parliament there, that's a Kwacha, and instead of him living there, they go live in Lusaka. They forget, that there are people there, So they only show up when it's time for elections, or when the president is going there, that's when they show up. You have to live among the people, so that you know what's happening on the ground. And, so these are the signs to say, look, we need somebody who's more local, somebody who's from within the same community, somebody that when something happens, the community will be able to go and they know where he lives to say, okay, we've got this issue. So how is he going to coordinate all these developmental programs if he's not meeting his people? It's sad, like and that it shows bad on his CV. I don't know if people are going to vote for him in 2026. The party needs to start thinking of somebody new to replace him, because that's really bad. Anyway, but
we have to be aware that the MPs, they make money when they are in parliament, when they are in Osaka. If they're in their constituency, they are broke. There's no manager. Remember, they don't have a fixed income. They have to sit in those subcommittees and stuff like that to make sitting allowances. So otherwise, if you are in the constituency all the time, you'll be broke. There'll be no money for you. So you have to be where the bread and butter is,
but you have to go once. You have to make sure at least you visit. You can go there, you see it. I mean, go back to the people. At least people should be seeing you. Not just you go for good and that's it. You have to go. Even if you are in Lusaka, but make an effort to go at least. Once, twice, maybe twice or three times a week. You are there, depending on where it is. I mean, Lusaka Copper Belt is not that far. You can even go the same day and come back the same day. So that's I don't know, but it looks bad on his CV, if you ask me. Very, very, very bad. Okay, I think we go to the next particular topic here. And by the way, you guys heard about that Z farmer issue where that kid was murdered? there's that boy. I think he was murdered at the farm of the Z farmer. And which is sad, by the way, and very, very sad. So I don't know. It is believed that the Z farmer was dating Siawani's brother, and where he came, he used to live in Botswana. He was married. He's got a wife actually there. And then, according to what they were saying, that the kid was sent by that same lady to go and pour acid on the Z farmer, and they ended up beating him. He later died on his way to a hospital. So I think we spoke about it a few weeks ago when it happened. But finally, I think they've been convicted. Or I don't know if they've been convicted, but they've been arrested, and they're about to be going to court soon. Yeah, what's your take on that one?
Yeah, I think the law has taken its course. That's fine. That's what is expected. Actually, no one is above the law, so it's good that the police have arrested them, and they're soon to appear in court for trial, whatever. Yeah, so that's good. I think people are okay, and people have stopped talking about it, because if they were not arrested, if the Z farmer was not arrested, people are gonna still make a lot of noise. But right now, people are happy with what the police have done.
Yeah, they were saying, oh, because of the mother, she's the, she's the ECZ, big boss there. So she's with the party, affiliated with the party, so nothing is going to happen to her. There was so much happening and rumors circulating that time. Vachitumba, Mr. Simkonda.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I think maybe to say that it's connected. I don't know if the sister or whatever is working from ECZ, then ECZ, whatever, then be close to the government. Yeah, I'm sure the president on that one is clear to say you are on your own. I think that is what he said. And I think also we saw what happened. Is it in Katete where the DC, should be the DC was fired because of that defilement and was arrested. So I think that on that one is clear. There's no doubt. The president said you are on your own. So that one, I think there's nothing to say because it's connected and whatever. Yeah, that's why today we're talking is arrested and then you appear in court. And then he is going to argue the case. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, he goes in. That is what the law says. I think that is what I can say. But to say that, no, because it's connected, I think the error we see, I think also there's another DC, I don't know if it should be somewhere like Mukusho, also convicted. So we've seen a lot. So even if you are connected, you are UPND, you are on your own. I think that is what the president said. I submit.
Thank you. Oscar, should people take their law in their own hands in these issues? In Zambia, it's always been the case. It's always been mob justice.
No, you have to be careful with this one. My sister-in-law used to be a DPP. She always warned me, says, Mlam, never ever get involved in a murder case, because whether you are innocent or not, they take long to go for those kind of cases. They take long, that even if they tell you you're found not guilty, it's probably after 2 years or so, that kind of thing. So, and you come out, you're destroyed completely, right? So when the people are saying because she's connected and this and that, I didn't buy it. A murder case is a serious offense, right? So you need to make sure you do a good job in investigating that case. Cases have been lost because of rushing. I told somebody, I said, the OJ situation in the US, right? Yeah. I think most of us believed OJ was guilty, but the police were overexcited, overzealous. They they did one or two mistakes and it cost them a case, right? Yeah. So, and the fact that if she's connected, they have to make sure that they have the facts. So, whichever way you look at it, so murder case is very serious, whether you're connected or not. The police needed to do their job, and whether you're connected or not, you're on your own. This is not like you store a pen go bookstore. No, this is a big case. So you should not take matters in your own hand. I know there was also, I think there's trying to push that the police are the ones that it was in the police custody. So it's not the Z farmer, it is the police. But hey, if it was badly beaten, you could still die on your way to the hospital. If it was badly beaten, maybe they wanted to take him to the cells, then they realized this boy is in bad shape, let's take him to the hospital. You can't accuse the police for that, right? Yeah, I mean, they also had to do their own evaluation, whether they could keep him in the cells before they take him to the police. Unless the investigation, an independent investigation somewhere proves that it maybe was battered by a rifle on the head, I don't know, but I think he died out of the injuries that he sustained from the farm.
And the big problem is they were recording the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's why the internet is, it's funny, eh? They were recording themselves,
Very dangerous. Yeah, you're recording yourself, and
they were recording themselves. Yeah. So evidence is there for everyone to see. At least if it happened when there was no recordings, it just happened, we just heard. Maybe that could have had a chance to twist it that maybe he was beaten by the police. Yeah. Okay, but that would have been hearsay. This one says this one says that. But now when there's a video with the boy pleading, he's tied up. He was tied up in wires and everything, and she was there. Her voice is there. Even the boyfriend is there. They're there. And it was showing that he was even holding something like a big stick or something. So who knows? But the evidence is there. I mean, you recorded yourselves. Oh man.
And just to add, how things can just change from very good lady bad to worse. As a farmer, I've met her several times. She was doing very good since she came from Australia and things like that. But now she has just, what's been happening in her life ending up to this is just it's one bad thing after another. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think those were signs. I mean, those failed relationship, failed marriages. I mean, I don't know how many times she's been married. They all end up, and maybe it was a sign to say, you know what? Maybe if she didn't even date this guy, maybe this wouldn't have happened. So maybe she's even regretting, why did I even involve myself in this guy? Because it's believed that because he's married somewhere in Botswana. And so according to what they were saying, narrating on the video, the boy had acid in his hand and he was sent by the same guy's wife to pour acid on her. I don't know how true that is. We didn't see the acid. All we saw was a boy, complaining and, crying for help in that matter. Dr. Danny, should people take things in their own hands nowadays, or
No. This is not PF era. This is UPND era. We follow the rules. So yeah, that was totally wrong. So I think they deserve a punishment, and I think the justice will be for that boy will be served. So let's just wait and see, and wait for the courts to pass judgment.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's clear for everybody. And all of a sudden, the program that the president was talking about, the Zambia National Service voluntary, exercise has begun. and they've started recruiting people now all across the country. I think this is one of the programs you talked about. Should have been, I think, a year ago. He was talking about it to say, he wants to instill the discipline in the youth once they complete high school. They turn into junkies, because there's nothing to do, and due to unemployment with nothing to do, you end up being on the streets, becoming what they call, I'm a junkie, stealing from people, drinking and doing all sorts of lawlessness. So this is a program to get the kids out of the streets, give them some meaningful skills, so at least they were training in skills, all these, practical things that they can use after they graduate. If they want to become plumbers, they want to become, bricklayers, they want to become, carpentry, all this stuff, they'll be able to, acquire during the training, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, Mr. Mwanza, did you go to
Yes,
ZNS in your days? Did you go to ZNS?
yes, I did. Um,
Oh.
I did. It's a good program. I think even the president mentioned that ZNS should not have been stopped. I know it was
Mhm.
expensive, but
Mhm.
it is a good program in terms of discipline.
Mhm.
The my only concern is
Mhm.
they really not a concern, but they have to emphasize on skills training, the trades, because that market is very lacking in Zambia. I mean, in the Kaunda days, we had this Magari trades and Choma, Rwanda trades and things like that. But we really don't have a good trades training in skills in Zambia. Like I think you all know here in Canada, like you go and do plumbing short course, mechanic short course, electrician, that kind of thing. So in terms of skills, I think they have to emphasize on skills. They also have to emphasize on some of the basic things like project management, like time management. That
Mhm.
is next week is next week. Those kind of things. Some of the very, very basic and ethics in doing your businesses and things like that. Where I'm emphasizing on skills,
Mhm.
if there are no skills training and there are no jobs, these guys you have trained them now they have done military training.
Mhm.
Okay, that can also be dangerous, right? Yeah, because if there are no jobs,
Mhm.
once you've done military training, you don't fear guns anymore.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that is the only thing. I mean, there was gonna be some bad eggs here and there, but I think it's a good program. It's
Okay.
a good program. Mm.
So how intense is it? Is it like when you went to ZNS? So you are also taught the same way? Like, was it skills as well as training as well, or it was
No,
just training?
during our
Just the
time,
military.
it was the split into it. The first 6 months was just military training,
Okay.
and they just had military training in terms of battle training, basically. A little bit maybe of propaganda. When you're in a war, you have to win. You have to be getting recruits, and you have to have the locals supporting the war. Those kind of things. But it had to do with the battle training. Then, when you are done 6 months, there was the 14 months, which was the production. That's when they sent you to Chichoma, Solwezi. Those were the big production centers.
Mm-hmm.
But production also meant guarding strategic installations. Like for me, before I went to Yunza, we were assigned to Inden and at the Ndola airport.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the production part was after, and the production, I don't think there was like training per se. It's just like almost help produce maize or things like that. So I hope they've tweaked a little bit, but otherwise, it's a good program in terms of discipline, no
Mm-hmm.
doubt about it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. What about you, Badani? Did you go through it?
No, 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 no. I didn't. It was we are the we were the last Form Fives, the last class
Uh-huh.
of Form Fives. So after us, it became grade 12.
Ah,
But was yeah, our intake was the last Form Five in 1986.
ah,
After
okay.
that, 1987, it became those who were coming behind us were called grade 12s.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
They fo- they formed it, so we didn't go to that. No.
Oh, so by then the program had stopped.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we were the last intake. The 81 it was called 81 intake was the last intake.
Okay.
Ah, oh wow, that's long time ago. That's long time ago. Uh, so that's a long time ago. Okay. So Mr. Daniel didn't go through it, but
No,
all
86.
in mm,
Yeah, remember?
all in all, like in terms of bringing it back. Are we going to see a reduction of the so-called junkies in the streets? Are we going to, is it good for the young kids? Is it, or maybe the government is just wasting their time and money? Maybe when they come out of that training, it will be worse. They'll be worse.
There's a way in which we can utilize our young people that are unemployed.
Mm,
But I think that's one of them. Of course, the numbers are too small to absorb all of them, but it's a good beginning. The other thing that I was watching a documentary in Burkina Faso. Is it Burkina Faso? This Traore is in Burkina Faso. Where's in Yeah, Burkina Faso.
Yeah, sorry, Burkina Faso, yes.
Yeah, they have gotten these young people. They are taking them into the farms. They are farming these tomatoes, fruits, and all this. We can use them for food production. Actually,
Mm,
um,
mm,
we can use them for food production other than
yeah,
just setting them on the streets like that. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. I mean, we already have, a farm, those farm blocks, that ZNS is running. Actually, most of them, ZNS, Zambia Army, I believe, ZNS is running some of the farm blocks. So when they graduate, those are your labor. You got your labor already there. They are trained. They already know the system, and you just put them there, and that's it. At least, they'll be paid some money, to do the labor work instead of employing, other people to do the labor. Employ them while they wait to be deployed or employed, in the government system. So yeah, that's a great way of doing it. Mr. Simkonda, where are we on this one?
Okay, thank you very
I won't even
much.
ask you if you went through the DNS. I know you didn't.
Before me, I did. I think I found it was phased out a long time ago. Yeah, I think I concur with what Dan. It's a good move. Yeah, most of the time we say want to divest from copper dependence into agriculture. I think this is a good program, as maybe these people they go for a training. When they come graduate, I think they are going to contribute to the productions. So I don't know, maybe if they are going to be given those my certificates, for example, like those my electrician and whatever, so that maybe if it's to find a job somewhere, they can work because of that skill that they've acquired. See, it will be a good move. Yeah, because most of the time when after graduating from grade 12, these people they go into society. What are they contributing to the economy? It's
Mhm.
just they are just dormant. You are not contributing. These are the same people now are complaining to say the minimum of price is up. Whatever the economy is not good, but what are we contributing to the economy? But when they come up with this skill, they will contribute to the growth of this economy. That's when now we're going to see the bag of meal will coming down and everything to come down, and the economy will be in favor of all of us. That depending to say there depending on the president, want the dollar to be at 5 kwacha, which is not possible. What are we doing? So this is, I think, it's a good start. I think that is what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I think we need to also look at it. Well, in a nutshell, it is a great move. Um, we cannot employ everybody. Not everybody is going to be employed through the government system. But the little that the government is doing, at least, is going to show some difference. And people are willing. I mean, this is volunteer, and you can see the amount of people that were there. People will say, you know what, I'd rather go and learn a skill. Even if I'm not being paid, at least I'm going to learn something that sit at home. And you know how it is. Our families. You graduated. Maybe it's been like 5 years. You're still living under your parents' roof, and you got young kids, your young brothers and sisters. And the thing is just too much. To bear. When you want to be productive, but there are no options. And so this is a good move. Now, one thing that happened, I don't know if you saw this, but I wish your friend Wakazia was here. Nakachiinda and Miles Sampa went to report the UPND government for human rights abuse to the U.S. Embassy. I was laughing when I saw that. I was laughing. I was like, they haven't much to the fire. They chased away one of the U.S. ambassadors. When was that? When they were in power? Last time they were in power. Was it the same people? So I was thinking to myself, are they really? I don't know what's going on. I mean, and these two now, they're moving together now. Nakachiinda, Miles Sampa, and then Given Lurinda, now they're shining him now. Because Given Lurinda wants to be the next president. Nakachiinda wants to be the president. Miles Sampa wants to be the president. Ah, man, confusion. What do you think about Daddy?
Yeah, it's very laughable. Where the people who chased the guy to say, "Get out, we don't need you," when he talked about gay rights and stuff like that. Now they're going there. It's not the first time they've done that, actually. They were there the other day to. They went there, then they were chased. They just ended at the gate. They didn't have an appointment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were told to follow the right channels if they wanted. At one time, this last year, they went there without an appointment. So they were chased.
Uh-huh.
They were told, no, go away. The Tonse Alliance. But this time, I think they had an appointment because they were seen talking to the High Commissioner or the ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they just laugh at us and say, "Look at these
Mm-hmm.
they think we can solve their problems, their political problems." It doesn't show any political maturity to do that.
No.
We can do better than that.
Yeah, definitely. Huh? Mr. Awanza,
Yes, sir. Mhm.
did you see those two individuals?
Oh, those the two clowns.
I didn't want to say that one. Yeah, those two funny
you
guys.
know, those guys like Nakachiinda, his moves are calculated. I think he wants. He has lots of cases. If they found him guilty, he will say it's political prosecution.
Mhm.
Or persecution, not even prosecution, persecution, yeah, right? Persecution, right? Like harassment or something like that. Yeah, Dr. Saluso is right. This is second time they are going there. First time they were not allowed in. They ended at the gate. But somehow I'm beginning to believe this conspiracy theory about the US because when HH was frequenting the US, that's the time when these guys they were even calling that he's sailing to the West. They were not even allowed to go and see the ambassador. Now, HH, we are non aligned. We have to get investors everywhere. He went to China, and China they're not like the West. They move fast. We can see some of the fruits from those trips. Now I'm beginning to think, some of these things meant to fix Zambia because we seem to be going to China, and this PF is also good. They're like hyenas. They're good at capitalizing some of these things. And now suddenly they'll be listening ambassador who at one time wasn't. So I'm beginning to think, are these things kind of connected, right? Yeah. So, but those two going to the U.S. Embassy about Human Rights Commission, they even went to the Human Rights Commission before they went to the embassy. I'm thinking, yeah, what a joke. Some of it maybe we should just even blame ourselves because you can't compare the two. What we had during Kiev and what we have now. Though people say we shouldn't be comparing, but man, it's like night and day.
Definitely. 100%. Night and day. Mr. Sumkonda.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I saw these two. I don't know how I can describe them, but they are okay. I don't know what they do now. If maybe they have what is to do in life. Yeah, because I saw when they went, they were complaining of human rights and whatever. So now I was started wondering to say, during PF, these people did invite them Zambia or they were somewhere else. Today they are jumping, they are all over to start complaining to say about the human rights. Me, I watched a video where they undress a woman, but they were quiet. That is during PF. I saw, I think he should, I don't know, I just don't know, I just forgot the place where the PF cadres baritoba basi ya UPND. They were there. I remember there's a time of who's this one? Never Smumba. I think there was a program. They gassed the church. Omubali mu Zambia
You have to run
but
away to go to hide in the bush.
yes, and we had even Muvitanawa, Bifro, and others. They went to go and demonstrate in a bush. So I don't know about Zambia. I don't know. So today, which human rights are they talking about? Because now Sangwane Mirandu, and also they are complaining to say, I don't know if it's about only the PF who are prosecuted, whatever. Everybody mupawa kaide ebale fiona ula, ebale iba. Ifuna tuwali, bese weka teirele uchari mupawa mu PF. Ebale mo. So kukonka wadabene. And then we have a court in Zambia. And this court is not mean that it came with the UPND, it was there. From reception up to today. So if you have a case, they'll take you to court and you have a innocent until proven what? Guilt. So you go you through all the process. If the court found you guilty, you go in. You're not violating the human rights. You committed a crime. Is that a violation of human rights? Definitely no. So I don't know what they are talking about. I don't know. I think they that is what I can say. I don't know what they are doing, and I think it's laughable where they are just moving up and down. I think even the US embassy, they are just laughing at, who are these guys? Honestly, can you go and Zambia is a sovereign state. We have a law which is govern us. So the USA will come and say, no, stop. How is it work? So I think they can do better. They can do better. If they are tired, they just to retire from politics and start farming and contributing to the economy. Simple as that. I submit Bachanda.
Yeah, that's very true. Baliba. I mean, it's a laughable thing. I think every Zambian is laughing to say, what human rights views are they talking about that an average Zambian cannot see? Okay, having court cases because you did something wrong, it's not abuse. Okay, you broke the law by either stealing government coffers. Like somebody who's already in jail was saying, if you steal for the future, he was
Yes.
busy bragging. My wife's perfume can be your rentals. That's my wife's perfume. You look at my house, I've built it. It's so big. People are saying, this house, they want to compare it with the chicken runs in State Lodge. So you're exposing yourself. You all the videos on the internet, and you stole a lot of money. Now that the law has caught up to you, now you're saying it's human right.
And if you didn't campaign very well, we will go to jail. Which means there's a reason why Mwiro said that. Davis Mwira. There's a reason which means Copper belt could have made a. Is that what human rights? During during the Oasis, the treason, that is the fake treason case. What happened? Is that not a violation of human rights? Let's what happened in Sesheke during that by-election. What happened in Chiruvi? So what are they talking about, these people?
My brother, they even attacked a funeral procession. Who does that? Yeah, a funeral procession was attacked by PF guys. So I really don't know. These guys are in total denial. I don't know.
Because they were busy going online saying those cadres saying, by UPND mwirapo kumanda. They banned even people to go and bury. Ngakulifia chiro muntu afu ni UPND or any member of the family of UPND. What kind of people were those? To go and beat up with their friends at the graveyard. Can you imagine? Today
they want to cry the round.
Jesus Christ. What's going on here? Yeah, sure. No, they don't know what human rights abuse is. That was what was human rights abuse. The people of Zambia were abused left, right, and center, killed. Nothing of that sort of nature is happening now. Oh man. Anyway, moving forward, a huge big deal.
They came and so something that you don't know. During PF, pointing a gun. That was the first time. 20. That was around 01 somewhere there. Over they even knew where JJ was. That's what you. I don't know about it. Maybe Mzambi.
No, they forget. Selective memory over better selective memory. You only want to remember what you want, and
But just before they go, they have to ask us what really happened. Then you will tell them exactly what happened.
That's true. That is true. Well, let's talk about the big Kwenyus, guys. Let's talk about Kwenyu. It's time to Kwenyu now. Enough of all these bad stories and sad stories. But Danny, the Chinese were at State House. A group of investors were at State House.
Yep.
They, Kamwenda, he's been strategically going to China, all these other places. Mwanza, you were saying, like, look, the Chinese are quick to act. So out of all those big meetings, another group of investors has come in the country, and they're willing to to spend billions and billions in infrastructure development, agriculture, and all the major key sectors of the economy. They want to invest. So this is like a multi-billion-dollar kind of arrangement, deal, partnership. So I think we're on the right trajectory when it comes to bringing in investors, partnering with them, making sure that we benefit, they also benefit. Everybody goes home happy. Yeah. So what's your take on that one? Radani, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the delegation. So what are the implications? Like, what are we looking at? I mean, is this just like what they're saying? The opposition are, my stories if you, my meetings if you, nothing is gonna come out of that. These are it's just talk, all talk.
This is reality now. Things are coming to fruition slowly. Those are not jokes. So we never used to see this type of delegations before, and they are coming for specific projects, specific things. They are not just coming to come and talk things that are generalized type of talks or delegation. They are coming for specific projects. They are giving timelines when it's going to happen, and they're going to source money there, and then the agreements with the Zambian government. So this is all. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Before in the PF government, China used to use Chinese so-called investors, but we never used to see them openly in the public. It was under the table. Everything was done under the table. We never used to see things, memorandums of understanding signed in public at all.
No.
Nothing. We
No.
just used to use that we are borrowing money. We are borrowing money from China, but it was under the table. And they didn't even used to tell us how much they're borrowing.
Exactly.
It was just the thing I like about the current government's approach to developmental projects is that they are not getting hard cash like Lungu used to do. Go get bags of money, bring it in Zambia. We want to build a bridge or something like that. We are doing things. We're getting help in form of actual infrastructure. Let them build it and all that. That's the problem. Before was the government used to go and get these millions of dollars, bags and bags of money, bring it in Zambia, then they just start sharing it, and the projects were never done. So the good thing is if you want to help from China, just tell them to come and put the value on paper, but then they just leave you with infrastructure itself. This idea of the PF where they were saying, no, we're going to get $300 million, 300 million pounds, whatever, from euro bonds, whatever, bring it, and we'll do our own constructions and stuff like that. It won't work. It never used to work. And that's the reason why they were abusing the money. They were stealing the money. Now there's no such a thing as handling hard cash. We're just talking about agreements. We get their loans, of course, but we get things done because these guys are coming to build the bridges, to build the factories, to build this and that. So it's a good thing that we are heading towards we are back in the league of developing so-called countries that are developing.
We're in the Champions League.
Yeah, we were stagnant for a long time.
Yeah, we're back in business, back on the map. Mr. Mwanza, what's your take on this one? Is it just blowing hot air, or these are real business arrangements, real tangible agreements, or like the opposition is saying at all, they're just signing paper and they're just talking, nothing is happening?
I think these are real businesses, investments. Like Dr. Luswaniso said there, these guys are human rights champions. They got Eurobond, not even one locomotive from that Eurobond fund, or even 50 wagons to transport goods. But this time things are happening. The things are happening. Mulungushi is here to be commissioned. In my area, Lusaka West, where there's United Fertilizer Company, they have a 10-hectare industrial park. I mean, even the Boko president of Botswana was there. It has changed from bush to trucks taking fertilizer to Botswana. So you see the real things. China is fast. When the president went there, within a week, some investors were already in the country. Yes, yeah. The ambassador to China is a colleague of mine. He's working. He's busy. These guys, they mean it. Like it's real investment, not the ones where you go to Dubai to buy, or you're coming back with stacks and stacks of cash in a presidential plane. No, these guys are coming to set. To set in Zambia, to manufacture in Zambia, and what also I like the most, this whole thing about we grew up feeling being landlocked was a disadvantage. I think the UPND government has saw this idea. It's a great opportunity, God-given opportunity. So let's be the industrial hub of the region. It's going to happen. And it's happening. Not it's going to happen, it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kwacha is down, it's going down, stabilized now. I will just have to do a little bit more if we find out we have enough power, bumper harvest there. So things are happening.
Yes, I think things are truly happening. I think this is a great, a huge multi-billion-dollar investment that Zambia needs, because if it's going to cut at all these major key sectors of the economy, we're going to see a shift in terms of employment, in terms of creating the skills, skills exchange. We always want to work with the Chinese, because when they do a job, they do it perfectly. And there's been so much talk about on local contractors and engineers, providing substandard kind of work. So if we have those big, huge corporations coming in, working with them, learning, exchanging those skills, so that in the next coming 50 years, Zambia will be the one that's now going to be going to other neighboring countries to train and build in other countries. So 4 things that I actually learned, what the president actually he derives all this investment on. And there are 4 key elements of investment that marries everything, or what he wants every investor to listen or to follow, or to cooperate on. 1, he says capital. Of course, when they come in, they have to bring in that capital, not just talk. Capital has to come in the country, and of course, it has to be the right capital. And 2 is always emphasizing joint ventures. So meaning this is not a one-way thing where they just come in, they do, and they dictate what they're going to do. It's a 2-way thing. We come together, Zambia, China. Okay, we're gonna put up this. You guys gonna put up this. You agree. That way everybody's happy. Yeah. And technology is one thing that at this point, because we're living in the fast-moving, evolving world where technology is key. Technology is on the top of the list of everything that we do. Of that, we need to be at par with countries like China. They're way far much ahead of us. We're behind. So once we have these kind of investors coming in, and they're not just coming in, they're coming to build actual factories and actual facilities. So and number 4, we're always talking about value addition. Okay, right now it's a process, but with them, when they come in and these things are put in place to say this is where we're going to run. So even if they're going to the mining sector, they know that they cannot just take raw materials outside the country. It has to be processed first. Once it's processed, then we export the finished good. So those are the 4 elements of investment. that I actually was reading up on what Jito was saying. That's what the president told them in the meeting that they had. That these are the things that he wants, them and the government of Zambia to work on, and like a guide, sort of like a guide or a blueprint, so that everybody at least is happy. And hey man, it's huge. And that's why the Tonse, I don't know whether it's the Uka or Ukwa or Tonse, I don't know who they are. They are so upset and mad about everything because they are seeing all this investment. Now they're trying to figure out how are we going to attack this man? I mean, it's way above our our thinking capacity. Was everything we try to do something else? They are busy moving up and down to going to human rights. They're moving up and down, going to him is busy signing MOUs. Making sure that the engine keeps on. They're thinking that if you throw this stone, or we're gonna divert him and he's just busy doing his thing, and that upsets the Tonse Alliance. Yeah. So anything else you guys want to talk about on this one? Or we go to the ZAMMSA issue. Hello, is anybody there?
We're here.
Yes, we're here. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the former PS, what was his name for ZAMMSA? Former Minister of Health, Permanent Secretary. I forget his name. He's been implicated in the theft of drugs with 5 other people. I think it was they've been arrested. And what was his name? I forget his name. Anyway, heads need to turn. I think when the report went out and some verifications needed to be done. So Dr. Dan, I think I've been reading and watching, what the people in the industry are saying, and according to what the U.S. Embassy ambassador was saying, to say there's so much a purifying of drugs being sold, all over, But according to the what the press conference where they had the SC DC, they were saying that they have not found any evidence specifically say that the medicine coming from ZAMMSA is the one that's on the market. So I don't know whether it's a conflicting statement, but why are they being arrested again? So I was a little bit confused when she said that. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, the report by the investigative wings of the government.
Uh-huh.
They said there was, to me, I still believe there was a lot of pilfering of drugs. That's where they were missing in hospitals. I think what DEC and SEC, whatever, couldn't find was concrete evidence that, these boxes were in the warehouse of this pharmacy and they found them. But so, of course, evidence has been destroyed now. There's no way they're going to find the evidence in their warehouse, in their storerooms. And I think that's why they just said we couldn't find evidence that drugs were missing. But the fact is that these people they were holding very strategic positions in distributing medicines for the country, and at the same time they were owning pharmacies across UTH. So it just adds 1 + 1 = 2. You come from work where you are involved in the distribution of drugs throughout the country, and at the same time you have this pharmacy, and which is registered in your cousin's name, and then they say no, it's not my pharmacy, but in the meantime you are found there all the time. So it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't. It's just common sense that those pharmacies were run by them. They were, the other one they acquitted him. They said no, he doesn't belong. He's not on the board of directors for that little pharmacy. So we didn't find any name in the documents. Of course, he's not gonna register the name in the pharmacy in his name.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's his cousin, means there's something to do with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
they were
good
using
that
proxies. Yeah.
to me, it's good
Go
that
ahead.
those people have been arrested and charged or whatever. Have they been charged or just been arrested yet? They've just been
Yeah,
arrested.
they've just been arrested. Yeah.
So, but I've been reading reports where they say those are the small fishes, the big fishes haven't been arrested, and everybody's talking about Sylvia Masebo.
Oh, serious?
But yeah, but to me, they're saying, oh, Sylvia Masebo should be arrested too. But no, in my view,
She just recently went to Ministry of Health. I mean, this issue is like it's been.
I know that's what I'm saying. They're talking about those 60 containers, whatever, which were found in Makeni.
All that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but to me, I think, yeah, as you've said, this is this problem that has existed for many, many, many years. So we cannot just. I think the main culprits here, I mean, the people who are oiling the engine are those people that have been arrested, because they are the ones who were in the warehouses and doing all sorts of things, not the minister herself. Yeah. So it's a good thing that the people have been arrested. The only thing that to me that I would have loved to see is to have that report that was produced open to the public. The fact that they have arrested these people and not release the report, to me it sounds a little bit fishy. It sounds there's some names or some names in that report that the government doesn't want to expose. Yeah.
Wow.
That's my suspicion.
That's something that food
But
for
at least
thought.
someone has been arrested, which is good. But it would have been nice to have that report availed to the public or the media.
Yeah, that is very true. It would have been, but so what are the lasting solutions? Because I mean, like I say, this issue has been there for a long time. How possible is it when the drugs come in? Okay, so when distribution time comes, okay, I don't know if ZAMMSA uses, they've got their own trucks, or they have contractors that distribute those drugs for them. I don't know exactly what happens there, but if a truckload comes in, you're saying these drugs are going to Petauke. You even know, okay, there are 100 cases, they're going to whatever. Petauke General Hospital, I don't know if there's a general hospital there. Boom. The driver picks up the stuff, delivers it, records they should be sharing between ZAMMSA and the hospital. Yes, we've received. These are the drugs. Yes, I've delivered. These are the drugs. They sign. That's it. So now, where is the pufferage? Where is the pufferage happening? Is it on the documents? Or they just forfeit the documents, or what?
The pufferage is happening in the hospitals themselves.
When the drugs arrive.
Yes, the people themselves, like they were talking on that. They connive with the ZAMMSA or whatever ZAM or whatever that organization is. They say, okay, there's a different level of stealing at ZAMMSA, whatever ZAMMSA, whatever. They oversupply a clinic deliberately. So instead of taking 20, they give them 40. They say, I'll come for the other 20. That's one way those guys up there were involved. But when those 20 boxes have arrived at the clinic, those nurses as well, and the actual doctors in those hospitals, nurses, doctors, whatever, cleaners, they also lay their hands on those 20 boxes. And the end, the patient doesn't have any, it doesn't have any drugs available to the patients. So the stealing was happening at different levels. It's not only at one level, no. It was happening at different levels, starting from the warehouses of ZAMMSA, whatever, into the actual clinics themselves. Because I think there was one woman that they arrested a nurse. They arrested a nurse because she had a lot of drugs. She was selling drugs at her house, actually.
At the house?
Yeah.
The audacity.
She was getting drugged. Yeah, there was a nurse. Is it in Kabwe or somewhere where she was arrested and they found
At
that she
the
was getting
house.
drugs. She was getting drugs from her hospital,
Uh-huh.
stealing to go and sell in the compound. So there were different levels of stealing. Someone
Yeah.
said even cleaners were stealing drugs. The ordinary cleaners, they were stealing those drugs.
Wow. So which means it's like, so there's no security when it comes to the storage of the drugs. Like, who has access to them? Like, is there supposed to be some sort of like a stores person? Like, obviously they keep them in one place. There should be some people given that mandate to you know give us subscriptions, or no, if a subscription comes to say they need Panadol, there should be somebody to keep watch of the stock there. So how does somebody like a cleaner get hold of the drugs? Like, there's no
Yeah,
security, there's no one. Like, huh?
the whole system is just not. In developed countries like where we are here, there are systems, computerized systems where
Hmm.
when a prescription is given to a patient,
Yeah.
it goes. There's a system where you can know that, oh, Bachanda got this drug, this
Mhm,
dosage,
mhm,
this
mhm.
number of tablets and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
In Zambia, we don't have that system. We don't have computerized system to know who was given what drug
Mhm, mhm.
at what dosage was given. Nothing. We don't have a
Nothing.
system of tracking drug usage up to the end user. We don't.
Mhm, mhm,
We
mhm.
have it, of course, this warehousing software or whatever, which will tell you how many boxes you have in that clinic. But you can't go to a clinic and say, okay, how many
Mm.
penicillin tablets did you give out? There's no such a system. We don't
Nothing.
we don't store that type of. If any, we have this system which is full of paperwork, files on the cabinets,
Mm.
full of these receipts and records which you never open anyway. You file those things and you never open them ever again. So that's what we have in the country. We are not yet at that level of I would say development where we can track a drug up
Mhm.
to the end user. We can't do that. So that's
Well,
that's what, yeah. You can fake records. You can write papers that have dispensed this drug when you haven't even given to anybody. You just give
mm,
it to your house. That's what.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
think. Oh man, that's pretty bad, because I know, like, the systems, like, like you're saying here. When somebody, sometimes even the police, they use that. When they see that, okay, there's a drug problem, going around in a certain neighborhood. When they see suspicion, to say, okay, because they dig the information, everything is computerized. They know, okay, fine. Okay, this person, what? Oh, he takes this kind of medication, and
yeah.
they even track which clinic or which pharmacy does he go, or he goes to this one, and
Hmm.
then they see that, okay, why is it being overprescribed? Okay, so they'll go and ask that the pharmacy there, look, this person is only supposed to get this, so why was he given this?
Yeah.
So those, I think, like what you're saying, it need to be implemented. So I think it's just digitalize everything, computerize everything, and everything should have a barcode, like even to the last bottle, little bottle, those bottles. They should. I don't know. In Zambia we like to use those to my plastics. Balemba population. I don't know. They should put like a bottle, like up on a barcode, so that when it's scanned, you tell it, oh, Aishina huyu muntu huyu is the owner. And then when they find that sometimes there are people that they go and get medicine on behalf of somebody else. So those issues. Yeah, we got a long way
Yes.
to go, but we'll be
We
there.
have a long way to go. Yeah, we have a long way to go, and those are repercussions of not that having that type of the luxury of the technology. It's
Mm.
in Canada, for example, the health card you have.
Yeah.
If you go to the hospital or to a pharmacy and whatever, when they enter that health card, it will
Yeah.
tell you, it will show them all the records, all the medicines you have been taking for the past 20 years. It's there
Yes.
in your record,
Yeah.
You even know which doctor prescribed this to what,
Yeah.
just that card you carry in your wallet.
Yeah.
So it's technology. It's technology.
Technology. Okay, so we've wrapped up all the topics. We've tackled them. We've hammered them. At least today we've done a good 2 hours. Now, any last remarks so that we close the show? Anything else that you want to bring up? Maybe something that we didn't tackle, but you know.
Yeah. I just want to. To me, I I'm worried about the spoilage of our maize.
Oh,
It,
maize, eh?
we might have some maize disasters. For example, we just
Mm-hmm.
had those farmers that lost, is it 250 bags yesterday, the other day.
Yes.
Uh,
That's what I was saying. There's some people who are setting up these fires.
yeah,
I'm telling you,
there's
there's,
some,
there's something going on here.
yeah. So there's a bit of, and the reason is the FRA, whatever they are, they don't have enough secure storage
Storage, yeah.
facilities. And these farmers that have so much bumper harvest this year, they have no option but to store their maize in very unsecure places.
Mm-hmm.
And end up having these people who are stupid in their heads go there and sabotage them by just basically burning their crops, their produce. So I think it's a high time the government looks at this, because I think people are gonna lose their bump. I mean, they're gonna spoil. They will have maize spoilage or destroyed by either rains or fires or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in my village area, not my village, but where I live in Mwembeshi area, there where my father used to live,
Mm.
it's a similar thing. These farmers are taking their maize to FRA depots, and when they arrive there, they are told, no, we don't have
Wait.
storage area, wait and wait. So what they are doing is they are forming, they go to FRI and then they have this little village next to the FRI
Mm.
depot. They are
Mm.
sitting
Mm.
there for days and weeks
Mm.
with their crops, with their bags and bags of maize,
Mm.
And some of those maize, some people come at night and rob them or steal their
Yeah.
maize.
Yeah.
It's because, yeah, it's very, very sad. So I'm saying this because
Mm-hmm.
one of my cousins he grew a lot of maize this year,
Mm-hmm.
and he went to this depot for FRA, and he found 20 or 30 other farmers were there, and they have camped there for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They even formed this makeshift like camp where they cook and eat, and
Mm.
yeah, because the maize is not being bought by FRA in time, because it's very sad. It's a sad event,
Mm.
but I think the government should take care of this produce and take care of it, and let the farmers sell their maize quickly.
Mm.
I know what's in the media is that, oh, we are paying farmers, we are doing this, but it's not the reality on the ground.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so slowly happening. I think the first thing to do is to create all these proper facilities. Like what I was saying. I mean, the ones that we have are not enough. Clearly, so the first thing you can do is, at least, even if you're not, you haven't paid the farmers, at least the farmers need to store their maize while they are waiting for their money. They have to know that their maize is in a safe environment. So all these grain centers, that we've been talking about, they should increase. Right now where we are, I think FRA, our vice president, everybody else, they need to find some money to create more facilities, which are secure, because the way it is, when they bring their maize, they just put stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks just in the open, and then they sit and start waiting until when the FRA comes in and starts buying it. But if FRA, their facilities, they are full, so what's going to happen now? So that's what it means. You'll just be there outside. That's why you gotta find they're attracting all these funny characters, and then they come and do sabotage. because the president is talking about bumper harvest. Now they're thinking, okay, if we sabotage this, then we're gonna make sure there's no bumper harvest. So we need to start thinking ahead and make sure this doesn't happen, and then pay them quickly, boom, 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 boom. Let them move away. But I think the thing is where to store the maize. I think that me, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there is not enough storage. That's where the delay is. But because the president gave a directive, don't stop buying, continue buying. And people are flocking, they're taking their maize there. But the rate at which the maize is coming, it's so fast that they can't keep up. There's so much people that, really there was a bumper harvest, because you can see with, a lot of farmers. So they really need to think on our toes on that one. Hopefully the government will work on it. Finally, soccer, Sakala is back in the squad. Is that going to change?
Yeah, Sakala is back in the squad. This Israeli guy has been forced to bring him back. the pressure.
He really did like the guy, eh? They don't really like each other.
No, because the thing is, that some of these coaches, I'm told it's a coaching thing whereby you want players to respect you. If they don't respect you, they will not be in the squad. But I think he really costed us as a country a lot for really ignoring fashions. To exclude him from a national team. We would have won some of those games that we've been losing, But it's a good thing that we have new management at FAS, and I think they forced him to say, whether you like it or not, fashion is coming back in the squad. And but you can see that he's not happy. He's not a happy coach. He didn't like it. It wasn't his decision. Even the way he was talking you could see that he was not excited to bring him back. When you're bringing back a very good player like that, you as a coach, you're supposed to be excited, talk with energy.
Yeah.
You know what? We now have Fashion Sakala in the squad and this. But he was saying, no, now I'm going to bring Fashion Sakala. He's back and we hope to win a few games. You could tell that.
For example, Zambia mwali send omuntu from retirement sometimes he was probably a good coach, but look at his age. It has expired. You need to bring energetic. You need to bring younger players that can relate to the younger players. Like if at his age, he can't even relate to those young boys. He can't relate to them.
He can't run with the boys when they're training.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So even the way they do things, the thinking, and the way he can't even mix even with them, because these are young, fresh young minds. Totally different generations.
You just wonder how these coaches are hired anyway. I don't know.
So like I was saying, why don't we, the same amount of money you're paying him, find a local coach and paying the same amount? Find a local coach, get maybe even Christopher Katongo can do a better job. Okay? Pay him the same amount you're paying expatriate. I think even the players, if you put a person like Christopher Katongo, they will relate to Christopher Katongo more than him. Because when Christopher Katongo give them instruction, they will even be happy to answer and listen. But today, that the players will be playing, they will be playing, because they have to play, but I don't think they can relate to the old man. So why not we just bring in our own local coaches? Christopher Katongo is available. I don't know Karusha Walia what he wants to do, whether he's just going to want to be management. But I was thinking Karusha Walia would have been a good national team manager to manage the team.
These are the things that people are talking about the Kamanga regime, Kamanga administration, because all that was under Kamanga's administration. When people criticize this, they were saying, "Oh, these people hate Kamanga and they hate," but really those were bad decisions by Kamanga. to hire this type of that coach, and you can't let him go because he's under your contract. Otherwise, you have to pay him for the rest of the contract.
Mm.
So it will be costly to hire another person right now. We just have to wait until his contract.
The contract is up. Yeah. Now, next time they should consider looking locally. I mean, we got people that can do it. Like I'm saying, if it's money, I don't think the salary that they're paying the odd man, Kalusha Wara would refuse it. Because I think he's paid in dollars, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Someone said he's getting $40,000 a month or something.
Is it? Now, you think Kalusha Wara, if they gave him that money, he would refuse? Say, okay, can you come and help the team? Can he refuse?
No, it was no Kamanga. Kamanga was doing things on his own. He was a dictator. There was no whatever. He was he was like Lungu. There was no democracy in Kamanga's administration. Did you see how those elections were held? The first elections, the way they used to be held, there was Kafkafa there. There was like Ichipante. Yeah, it was. There were kadas singing for who this. What? He was rigging a lot of those elections. That guy. Yeah, he wasn't a good president for Faz. He looked very humble, but he was a bad character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we gotta close today. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Danny, for your time. We've disturbed you. I'm sure you want to go and enjoy. You have to go and have a swim now, maybe.
I'm home. I'm just home.
Today you're relaxing?
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast for people in Atlanta. It's I don't know whether you saw that one.
Which one is that?
It was today, actually. There was a podcast. They were about 6 people. They were talking about economic development. They are Zambians in US.
Which one is it for Vanathan?
I think so. They are the doctor there, a nurse, and the people from the embassy, from Washington.
I think it was I think Yavanan can Yavanathan.
Okay.
Yeah. He's well established. He's been doing this for a long time.
Okay.
So anyway, thank you for coming, and we'll meet again next week.
Okay.
Let's meet again next week, and have a good rest of the weekend. Kunoni long weekend. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. Bye bye. God bless.